From an early age, we're taught to treat people with kindness and respect, and to treat others the way we'd want to be treated ourselves. As we grow older, this mindset carries over into our adult lives. But is it possible to be too nice? After all, the world isn't perfect, and good deeds don't always get rewarded. In this video, we've gathered 11 reasons why being overly kind can actually do you more harm than good. If you're a super nice person, you're bound to run into these issues. People will start taking advantage of you. Some folks see friendliness as a sign of weakness. They think that since you're such a pushover who can't stand up for themselves, it's a green light to manipulate you. And once you start doing everything they ask, they'll start seeing it as something they're owed. They'll just walk all over you. As soon as you say it's all good, they'll keep demanding more and more. And what else can you expect when having a brain is seen as a flaw? "Oh, you think you're so smart?" is said with disdain and contempt. If you're bright, kind, and don't hide it, people won't like that. Here's a simple example. If you visit a government office, being a rude jerk is 5 times more effective. Sure, they might appreciate your politeness, but they'll deal with the screaming bully first since he's demanding immediate attention. You're just a nice, harmless person who can wait, while getting that wild animal out is the priority. That's the messed up logic. Don't let people use you. Be aware of the situation and act accordingly. But don't become a villain either. Just don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and your interests. Excessive kindness leads to lying. Too much niceness is a roadblock to the truth. Some people are naturally soft. They prefer hiding the truth to avoid conflict. They even have a concept called a white lie. They might fib to preserve a relationship, avoid upsetting parents, or save face. But lies always come out eventually, and you have to pay back the advance you took from the truth bank. Lying for the sake of kindness or conflict avoidance is universally seen as wrong, no ifs, ands, or buts. It might not happen all the time or to everyone, but for many nice folks, it becomes the norm. Your boundaries get violated. When you're too nice, you don't defy people, so they see it as permission to walk all over you. They'll try pushing your boundaries to test your flexibility. Usually, if you object, they'll say it was just a misunderstanding and gaslight you. Sometimes it genuinely is, but use your logic to spot manipulation in time. If you're too friendly, people will notice and start ignoring you since you don't seem to demand respect, even from those who don't return the friendliness. It gets harder to say no. If you struggle with saying no, people will start taking even negative responses as agreement, and then keep pestering you with requests you don't want to do. Coworkers will see you as someone who can't say no and burden you with their problems. Learning to say no makes life so much easier. How to start vocalizing it? Easy. Just envision yet another evening stuck with piles of paperwork you're doing for a friend while they're out clubbing or dining. Spend 2 days saying no to any request outside your responsibilities, and you'll be amazed at how much free time you gain. Those who please the mob forfeit their own interest. The nice guys finish last. Not everyone is compassionate. Some will do anything to get what they want. They don't care about others' feelings, they're selfish, and likely don't even realize it, or maybe they just stopped being nice at some point. Researchers found a link between agreeableness and income. Turns out, nice people earn significantly less than their nasty colleagues. Scientists measured people's levels of pleasantness, then compared it to their salaries. By pleasantness, they meant the drive towards warmth, kindness, and cooperation. It was found that those lacking those traits earned 18% more than the friendly, caring ones. For women, the gap is smaller. Unpleasant women made only 5% more than those exhibiting warmth and kindness. Excessive kindness distorts your worldview. People drenched in niceness often have a completely warped perception of reality, harming themselves and sometimes others too. The nice and naive tend to judge others by their own standards and make mistakes. The world is far from kind and will likely not extend that courtesy to you. When their rosy expectations aren't met, it's suffering for the nice folks. It's one thing when it happens in isolation. You can feel for that person and try to help. But it's much worse when the delusional nice guy starts dishing out advice, painting a sad picture. He genuinely thinks he's giving valuable guidance by spreading kindness. But in reality, he's just sowing inadequacy. His advice could lead to dire consequences. He who is truly good must be able to be as truly evil when he encounters evil. Otherwise, his goodness is mere naivete and is worth little from society's standpoint. Lack of self-care. Kind-hearted people tend to invest a lot of time and resources into others. They feel good seeing someone sad, so they offer their help. This way, the nice folks deplete their own resources when far from everyone deserves your kindness. Yet the person most in need of it is you. Plus, you compromise and do things in others' interest zones. If you spend all your time helping others, you'll have none left to help yourself. A perpetually nice person can expect to be nailed to the cross eventually. Excessive kindness feeds evil. Yes, being too nice enables evil to thrive. Overly kind people find it hard to firmly resist evil. Seeing their indecisiveness and weakness, evil gains confidence in its ability and impunity. For your average little person, it emboldens similarly small-scale evil. Blatant rudeness gets labeled a difficult personality. That's just how they are, we should understand. So the evil gets fed and grows a bit. Soon enough, that jerk worms his way into a position of power and starts doing big-time evil, all because no nice person was there to nip it in the bud. When virtue is undefendable, it becomes vice. You may seem suspicious. Just like there's no such thing as a free lunch, there's surely no such thing as an extremely nice person without an obvious reason. People may start wondering what you're hiding behind that kindness. What ulterior motives are you pursuing? Excessive friendliness can also prevent you from forming real bonds, as you may come across as insincere. Nothing is so silly as the prayer of the fancy. Make me a little kinder. It is an acid that corrodes the whole fabric. People will expect more from you. Once you earn a reputation as somebody who agrees to everything, people may misinterpret that. When you start standing up for yourself, if you try to change the established dynamic, they'll be let down. If you deny them something, they'll say, "You used to be so nice. What happened?" And even if your refusal is well justified, it'll seem selfish compared to your usual behavior. Excessive apologies. Nice people hate seeing others suffer, so even when they're not at fault, they still apologize to make the other person feel better. But the problem is, an apology implies admission of guilt. By saying, "I'm sorry," you're taking responsibility when you did nothing wrong. It's crucial to understand that you shouldn't apologize if you're not guilty. Taking ownership of your choices and actions is mature, but never say sorry for others' mistakes. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you don't miss new helpful videos. Until next time, friends.